All right, let's take a look at our second demonstration. This second demonstration is an example of an application that the manufacturer is going to provide to their service providers, whether it be direct service providers or, in this case, a dealer network. So if we look at this application, it's essentially designed for a technician. I'm going to assume the role of a technician in this case, and I'm the technician at that Buffalo dealership that this truck's been assigned to go to. Across the top of the screen, you can see I have a scroll bar of the different service orders I've been assigned. Some of these service orders may have been assigned directly by the dealer. Other service orders came into that dealership through these notifications from the trucks and the alerts that are occurring. So again, we're pushing business to these dealerships. The dealership will still schedule when it needs to be done, but we'll direct these trucks to their dealerships in advance of failures actually occurring. So a lot of value for this dealership. But as a technician, I need to have all the information available to me to service this truck as quickly as possible and get it back on the road. So if we look at this screen, it's sort of broken up into three areas. Over on the left-hand side, we have real-time information coming off our truck again. We can see it. Nice picture of it within the application as well. Any real-time data that the technician may need shows me where that truck is. Happens to still be in Boston, so I know it's a time before it's actually going to make it to my location. And it's also calculated its estimated time of arrival for me. So as a dealer, I can be scheduling and watching these trucks where they actually are and adjusting my schedules to make sure that when those trucks come in, I'm servicing them immediately and getting them back on the road. So I don't have a situation where technicians are sitting around and waiting. I don't have a situation where drivers are sitting around and waiting for their trucks to be fixed. Okay? Over on the right-hand side is some background information for the technician. Now, this is a new truck. This technician may have never seen this truck before or this model truck before. Okay? And so they're looking at this and going, well, I got to figure out how to do this repair. In this case, it's not that complicated, but still, I haven't seen this truck. I got to figure out how to do this repair as quickly as possible. And I essentially have to be able to learn on demand. That I'm going to show you an example of in just a minute. But I also need to understand the background information. So when this truck rolls into the bay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to turn wrenches. So we see on the right-hand side, again, there's an alert. The alert information that came from the truck. Same information we showed to the fleet manager. It's valuable to the technician as well. So it's the same content coming out through two different applications. We can see the diagnostic results. Same situation. It was valuable to the fleet manager. It's valuable to the technician. So, we're centrally managing this information and dispersing it across our network of customers and service providers so that they can take advantage of it. We also have the truck history here, so we can see if there's anything particular about this truck they should be aware of. And then in the center, it's telling them all the parts they need and the status of those parts. So it's pinging the inventory at the dealership. If the parts weren't available, it would be looking at the manufacturer's distribution locations and determining how fast we could get the parts there. And then, we're going to look at a procedure in just a minute of how to do it. So very quickly, what this application has done is pulled all the information together that technician's going to need from multiple sources, from the truck, from the service lifecycle management system, from the record of this specific case for this truck as to what the problem is, and presented in a way that they're ready to go to fix this truck as soon as it comes into the bay. So, again, it was in Boston when we started this demonstration. As time goes on, this technician's going to work throughout their day to fix this truck or fix other trucks. And then finally, this truck's going to arrive at their facility. And again, we're going to know exactly when it arrives from the ETA. We're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to get alerts as to when it's getting close. And when it pulls into that bay, the technician's going to go ahead and start his repair because he's done all his background research in advance. He's ready to go. Now, again, he's never seen this model truck before, and he's got to figure out how to do this repair as quickly as possible. Well, traditionally, he'd either go through a set of manuals or electronic type of information to try and find this procedure, or he might do a trial and error process, which is probably going to take more time. He's probably going to break something in the process, but it's a very typical process as well. So what we're going to do as a manufacturer is provide interactive instructions on how to do this repair to allow that technician to essentially learn on demand. And this is a model we're seeing more and more frequently among companies where they're saying their products are getting so complex, their products are changing so frequently, it's impossible to keep technicians trained on everything they may encounter. So, essentially they'd be stuck in training constantly if you wanted to train them on everything they could encounter. So they're starting to look at tools like this that will essentially allow on-demand training to learn what they need to do at the time they need to do it, and don't bother training them on things they're not going to encounter. So you can figure how many trucks in the fleet of models this manufacturer offers. What do you train the technicians on? Just what they need to know, not the entire fleet.